Okay, I'm back. So, sorry, let's do the cubic root of negative 125 squared. So negative, now I lost my train of thought. The cubic root of negative 125 and then squared. So 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. And if it was negative 5, right, then it would give us a negative. So negative 5 squared is positive 25. Sorry, I know that example was not my best work right there. Okay, so let's look at letter N. Okay, so this one is saying the fourth root of negative 16 raised to the first power. So what number times itself 4 times gives us 16? Negative 16. There isn't one. This is no solution. You cannot have a even numbered root of a negative because that means it's a number times itself 4 times. If it's a positive, it's going to give you a positive. If your root is a negative, like negative 2 times itself 4 times is also a positive. There's no way to get a cubic root of a fourth root of a negative. I could do a cubic root, right? Because negative times negative is negative, but there's no way to get a even numbered root of a negative. It's just like saying the square root of 16. Of negative 16, there's no square root of a negative. So no solution. Okay, well here we are, back to 125. So this is just saying the cubic root of negative 125. I kind of spoiled it by going up here. It's negative 5, right? Because negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5 is negative 125. Okay, can we have a fourth root of negative 16? This is essentially the same question. We cannot. It is no solution because it's a even numbered root of a negative number. Okay, we're going to stretch it a little bit. Can you think of, is there a sixth root of 64? Is there a sixth root of 64? What number times itself 6 times is 64? It's 2, right? 2 times 2 is 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. So the next one, we have the fifth root of 32 raised to the third power. Well, the fifth root of 32 is 2, and then 2 to the third is 8. And so that's our final answer. Okay, so let's look down here at S. We have this like hot mess express question. So the first thing I'm going to do, right, this right here means the square root of 36 to the third power. And I'm multiplying that by 36 to the negative 1/2. So let's think about what that means, right? It means 36 to the 1/2 on the bottom, right? Because it's a negative. So I can move it down there. And then I have 36 to the negative 1 times negative 5 over 2. So that's 36 to the positive 5 over 2. You guys get that? Negative times negative is positive. This guy came down here because he had a negative exponent. So now the square root of 36 is 6. So I have 6 to the third times 1 over, and then I have 36 to the 1/2 times 36 to the 5 over 2. So that's 36 to the 3 over 2, right? Because, 6 over 2, and which means 6 to the third over 1 times 1 over the square root of 36 to the 6th power. Do we agree with that? Okay, so now I have 6 to the third over 1 times 1 over, what's the square root of 36? 6 to the 6th. And then look at all of this. What did we end up with? Are there more 6s on the top or the bottom? The bottom. It's 1 over 6 to the third. Okay, and then the last one right here, the fourth root of negative 256. It is no solution. It is no solution because you can't have an even numbered root of a negative number.